Welcome back everyone, I'm Jewel and we're in the Giants editor today on my Jewel's Peaceful Valley map, and this is a Farming Simulator 19 map, and I would be working on a 22 one, but I was already working on this one, so I don't want to stop work on it, but I am going to start a 22 map soon. Try to anyway, but right now I'm having a few problems with Wi-Fi and I wasn't able to load some of my other videos up. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking into getting either another router or extender or whatever, and see if I can get it situated. If not, I'll look into a different internet source, but for now I'm trying to get all of it done. But I'm going to do this quick map video instead of some of the simulator games I've been doing. I had some ready to go, but they just won't upload no matter what I try. So I'm going to try to do this, see if it'll upload. Appreciate everybody. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. Happy Independence Day for those who are in the United States. And happy holidays of whatever kind to those anywhere else. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Hope you've been enjoying all the different videos. Stay tuned for more. I'm definitely not going to quit. I'm just trying to get my Wi-Fi situation under control where I can post properly. So I'm sorry if I missed any, but I had posted every day since I started, and then I missed a couple recently because of Wi-Fi. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you, as you can see on the last episode that I did to do with tutorials of the roads, is I didn't quite finish this, but I was going to do it off screen, but I kind of got busy and I forgot till I just now came in here and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So I'm going to do that later. All I had to do was adjust these two and then run it back through the constructor. So I'm not going to do it right now on this episode. I'm going to go ahead and work on this road so I can get this done and move on, and then I'll do that off screen. But I showed you enough how to troubleshoot it on all the other videos of how to get the twist out of the road. On the other videos, if you'll have a look at them, you'll be able to tell how to do that. And in this case, what I need to do is get started here, but I'm going to do a quick overview of what you needed to know or do if this is the first time you ever seen this video or the roads being done. And if quick explanation would be, see here where it says in the scene graph roadway 9. Well, you would start out obviously with roadway 1, but you would make that here. But I'm going to go ahead and show you, even though I've just now made my roadway 10 that I'm fixing to start, which will be this one. I'll show you how I did that. So what you do is you come up here in the scene graph. If you don't have that open, click on window, click on scene graph, and then click on attributes. After you open that one, come back, click on window, hit attributes, come back, click on window, I would go ahead and open user attributes, then click on window and open terrain editing, and potentially open material editing as well. And you also need to be aware of the console, so you can open it and it pops up at the bottom. So, but mostly these top 4 are what you need. So after that, you click on create, click transform group. I'm going to go ahead and click on it just to give you the idea what it does, but then I'm going to delete what I do because I already have one. Okay, click transform group. It pops up at the bottom. You're going to highlight it. Then over here in the attributes transform box, you're going to under the name one, you're going to title it roadway whatever, 1, 2, whatever you're working on. If it's your first one, do 1. If it's the second road, do 2. If it's the third road, do 3. So I'm going to not write anything, but basically you just type it, write it out. Okay? Once you do that, it'll pop up over here. So I guess I have to let me just put 1 at the end of it so it'll show you it changed it to the 1. See it? At the bottom over here. Now, once you do that, you need to export it. And I'm not going to export it, but I'm going to show you how you would. Now, obviously, it wouldn't say transform 1. It would say roadway 1 or 10 or whatever. You would hit File, Export Selection. Okay? Once you click on that, it's going to take you in this, and you're going to hit Downloads, and you'll have already needed to have the Spline Street Constructor and the marker. If you don't have that, let's take a quick look at that. So pretend you went to the website I showed you in the very first video I did of these roads being made. You need to go back and look there to get a little more information. But the place I told you to get the Spline Street Constructor is no longer available. They closed the website. And the Spline Street Constructor was made by TrackMax, TRACMAX. But anyway, so what it looks like is a zipped up folder when you first download it. If you can't find it on the channel I showed you, it's a YouTube channel. A guy made a good video about it, and I learned from there. You need to watch his video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the like button, and then look in his description of the road of the Spline Street Constructor, and if he still has his stuff available, then you can also get it there. But if you can't find it there, look on the internet, on Google, and just type in Spline Street Constructor and hunt it there and see if you can't find it there. I saw one there that might work. If you can download that, do so, and then or get it from a friend if somebody else has it. But it's going to come up as a zipped folder. So let's pretend that's it, even though that's not it. What we're going to do first is we're going to make a copy of it. So we're going to click on it to highlight it with the left mouse button, right click on it and click copy. Okay? And then once we click copy, and we're clicking it of the Spline Street Constructor, not this one. Yours would say Spline Street Constructor. You're going to go to desktop, make a new folder, and title that folder Spline Street Constructor Backup. So you'll know that it's a backup copy of your Spline Street Constructor. Then you're going to right click on the folder you make, and then you're going to click paste. So you're going to come down and it'll say paste once you do that. Then you need to do the same thing for the marker. And I have it'll come up like this. You're going to click on it and click copy. Don't click cut yet. Click copy. Go make a new folder, call it marker backup, and then right click on the new folder and paste it. Now, once you have it backed up, you're going to make a new folder in your downloads, two new folders. One named Marker Main 1 and one Spline Street Constructor Main 1. That's what you're going to name them. Then you're going to put the marker in the Marker Main 1. You're going to put the Spline Street Constructor in the Spline Street Constructor 1. You're going to open one of them, and it's going to only have this in there, the zipped up folder. You're going to left click on it to highlight it, then you're going to right click on it and click extract all. And it may say other things, but basically if you don't have a program, there's different programs you can download. There's some free ones. There should be some free ones. You should have one on your computer, but if you don't, you can get them. 7-zip, WinZip, or WinRAR or something. There's some out there. So click extract all. It's going to turn into this. It's going to open, and you double click and it opens this. You're going to have all of this up to road 51. You're not going to have these. I made these in paint.net, and I have a video out to teach you how to change that road to where it has the double yellow line or the yellow dotted line, and whatever you can do different roads. And I told you in one of the videos you can even do other roads that I showed you. You can make it however you want. So check that video out. There's several of them. Check them all out, because it's very important. Sorry about the dogs barking. I have no idea what they're barking at. It's obviously in the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m. So I don't know what they're barking at. But anyway, so those are the paint.net stuff information here. You'll only have one road to choose from when you first get the program, and then you can make them in paint.net. Or you could do it in Photoshop or whatever you got that will let you make it. You won't have these. Well, you might have one if you get it from the guy that did the YouTube video. If not, it won't be there if you get it from the main site that I had gotten it from. Of course, that site's closed down now. But I know how to make it, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And you won't have none of these, none of this roadways or splines. You won't have none of that, which I'll show you how to make. and then you'll have this and the rest of that. And this is where it says application. This is the one you're going to double click on, and it'll open it up for the thing. It looks like that, but we're not going to work with it yet. I'm just going to minimize it. So now I'm going to show you how to make these two i3Ds right here. So whenever I had clicked on that, so let's go in and click cancel and come back to this. Whenever you make your roadway whatever number 1, you're going to click File, Export Selection. You're going to go to your Downloads folder, and you're going to find your folder you made of the main one, Spline Street Constructor. You're going to open it. You're going to open up this folder, and it's going to come to this. Don't highlight any of that. Left click in the file name box and write the name that you made, roadway 1 or roadway 10 or whatever you made. Then you're going to hit save. Okay, that puts an i3D file of that in here. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I already made a 10 just before I started this, so I'm going to click cancel. Now I'm also going to delete that because I don't need it. I'm going to use the one I already made. Now you need a spline, so you're going to click create spline. It's going to pop up at the bottom. You're going to click on it to highlight it, and then come over here to the attributes box and put spline 1, or if it's your second or third one, put 2 or whatever. So in this case, I'm not going to do any of them because I already have one made. I did a spline 10 because I'm working on the 10th one. And then you would come up here, File, Export Selection, go back to the Downloads, and put it in the Spline Street Constructor area here. Click on this box and write Spline 1 or Spline whatever, whichever one you're making. You don't got to write shapes. That creates that when you do that. So, but I'm not going to do any of that because I already did that. So I'm going to click off of that and click cancel. But you would click save, and it needs to be on an i3D on both of them when you did the other one as well. So I'm going to click cancel since I already did it. Now once you're through with that one, you don't need that spline anymore. You're going to leave the roadway 10 you make, but you're going to click on delete while that spline one you made is highlighted because you don't need it. So that's gone, but it left it as an i3D in that other place. Okay, I know it might be confusing, but just hang with me. Click on the roadway 10, and you need to find where the gizmo is. And in our case, it's pointing the right way because I already fixed it. But a while ago, when you first start, it's all at 0, so I'll fix it to 0. It's all at 0 like that. So you're going to click on the rotate Y, and in this case, I'm going to click 90, and it puts me pointing, the blue arrow, pointing in this direction. Well, that's the direction I'm going to be putting these little white things across this road in that direction. That's what you want. You want it facing the direction you're going. If your road is going that way or whatever, you want the blue arrow facing that direction. So you would change it to say 120 or whatever, and you'd get that one, or 100 or 280 or whatever you need it to do to get the arrow to face where you need it to. Now I think I turned it like this, twisted it with this, and it'll also turn it, but I don't usually like to do that. I usually like to use the numbers, and I think I didn't have a problem with it when I did that, but you can test it and just see if you don't have any problems. You can do it that way if you need to, but do not move this arrow stuff up, down, left, or right. Leave all the rest of them at 0, and you'll be fine. So I'm going to put it at 90 because that's the basic direction. It doesn't have to be perfect, and leave the rest and leave it there. Then roll your scroll wheel over here, and to move you hold down the right mouse button and do left, right, up, down. And then when you want to click something, you just left click on it. Okay, so we're going to roll in. Now that this is highlighted in the bottom, we're going to click, well, first we've got to import the marker. Hit File, Import. You're going to go to Downloads. Sorry about the dogs barking. I don't know what's going on. They must hear something outside. Anyway, you come to the marker main one, the folder that you made and that you opened up, unzipped, and you're going to double click on it, and it's going to open and open it again till open marker till it says post. Click left click on post, it puts it here, and click open. Now it says plane 001. It says plane 001 down here. Make sure it's highlighted. And if you miss this step, you're going to have problems. You're going to have to redo it. So you don't need to miss this step. You need to pay attention on this part. You're going to click with it highlighted, click edit, cut, then left click on the roadway 10 or 1 or whatever you're working on. Edit, click on edit, paste. Put that inside here. Now you're going to use the Control B to move this plane 001, make sure it's highlighted, and you're going to click Control B and left click where you want it. So you're holding down Control B while you left click. Then you're going to, after you left click once, you need to gently move off of it and left click again. So now you're going to twist this with this little blue half circle or whatever color. Some people might call it purple, but I think it's blue. Anyway, you're going to lower this with that right there, this yellow, green one. It turns yellow when you highlight it. Then you're going to put this little red circle, half circle, and tip it this way, the blue one this way. This one lowers it down. Now, we're going to move over. We're going to imagine this road, because this one's a little wide, so we got to imagine the road's going to be kind of over here a little bit. So we need to turn this to face that, where that road's going to be. So imagine this little line here is the road finishing out, okay? And this can be erased, so don't worry about this. Ain't going to be permanent. This is just to show us where kind of we want to lay it. And what you're going to do is imagine where this road's going to be, and you need to have this dot touch where that road would end up. So pretend this road was already laid out and the edge of it's coming along, then that's where you want it. So I'm going to just put this as best as I can where I think it would match up to it, and that's where I'm going to put it. Alright, now we're going to leave the rest. Everything else looks pretty much okay. As you can see, this is a terrain going up a little bit, twisting a little bit. So now we need to hit Control D as in duplicate. So you're going to press it and let go, both of them, and let go. It's going to duplicate it. You're going to roll up a little bit to it, grab the blue line arrow and drag forward. See how it hits this area though? You're going to want to stop there and lift it up. You're going to tip it just a little, lower it. You're going to tip it back a little because we're going up the hill a little, and you're going to lower it just a little. Alright. You can lift it up a little if you're hitting anything, and you can turn it a little to go the direction that you want it to go. Alright. Once that's done, you don't have to worry about this little high side right here, because you can fix the ground up to it. It's not that big a deal. And if you want to do that, you can hit sculpt mode up there, the two arrows. Make sure that you have this area open right here. Put the left mouse button, LMB, left mouse button on add. Then you're going to come here and click with your left mouse button, and it pops it up. And as you can see, we made it come up to where it would make sense, like that. Then you turn it off by clicking on it again, and you can see it's pretty close. And you can tip this if you don't like it. You can lift it a little. You can tip this forward a little if you don't like it. If you run into a problem and it twists like that, don't try to fix it. Just hit this little arrow one time, undo, and it fixes. It'll put it back where you started from, or where you messed up at. So now we're going to move along and hit Control D again. As soon as you hit it, let it go. Don't hold it down, or you're going to get too many duplications. And if you want to, and you don't want to do that, you can come up here. Instead of hitting Control D, you can come up here to edit while it's highlighted. So pretend we were still on this one. You would have this one highlighted, and then you would come and hit edit and then you would put duplicate, and it would duplicate it for you without hitting too many times. You just click it once. But in this case I already did it, so I don't got to do that. Gonna lower this down, tip it over, just gently use this, I call it a gizmo. I don't know what the real name is, if that's, I'm not sure what the real name is. There's probably a different name for it, but I call it a gizmo. Because that's what it looks like, a gizmo. Alright, so we're going to tip this all around till we look like we're happy with the level. And now that's moving along, and as you can see, that's pretty tipped up right here. But it looks okay, but we could tip it if we don't like it. Uh-oh, now I got to undo it. Got to start from the bottom and go, there we go. And make it a little more flat looking. And potentially that'll be hopefully a better flow of the road. And if you have to, you can move this over a little. You can twist it here a little just to angle it where you need to. And then hit Control D again and move it forward. Now see, as soon as it went underground, that's where I need to lift it up at. So we're going to roll in where we can see our arrow and lift it up. We're going to tip it, lower it, tip it back a little, because we're still going up the hill, and when we tip it back it helps follow the terrain. That's what this road constructor does. It follows the terrain that you're angling this little plane at. Now you can use a plane. I'll quickly, I'm not going to do it, but just quickly I'm going to briefly show you. Sorry about the dogs barking. They might bark again. I don't know what they... Sorry about the dogs barking. I tried to record in the middle of the night. As you can see, it's 12:21 now. But I don't know. They're just barking. I have no idea why. Exactly. They hear something. But anyway, hit Control D. I'm just going to try to do it and not say it as many times, because you get the point on that part. But you just got to adjust it whatever way you need to. Get it like that and drag it over some. And you can make some turns. Some of them do better than others. As you can see, I had made some of them better if you look back at the other videos. But this one, I'm not real worried about it being much too curvy. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a little small road. I'm just trying to get it finished. I want to try to move on to something else on the sides of the roads so we can get going and get this map moving. I've been real busy, and I apologize that I hadn't made as much progress as I should on it. Between the Wi-Fi and this other stuff, I've just been busy. But that looks good, and we'll hit Control D. And if you haven't already checked out Steam, there is a sale going on, and if this video posts quick enough, because it's 7/6 right now, supposedly tomorrow the sale ends. I don't know if it ends before tomorrow and you have to do it on the 6th. Excuse me, it ends this is the 6th. It just started the 6th because it's 12 o'clock. But the 7th is when it's supposed to end. 7/7/22, July 7/22. So you can get Gold Rush the game on sale half price. It's cheaper to get the Parker's edition if you want to get the Frankenstein machinery and the game and the collector's edition. But if you don't want the collector's edition, then it's cheaper just to buy the game by itself and the Frankenstein machinery. It's $9.99 plus tax for the game, $2.49 for the Frankenstein machinery. But anyway, also Trader Life Simulator's on sale for $1.99 plus tax, and Bakery Shop Simulator is on sale for $1.49 plus tax, and a bunch of other games. Lawnmower Simulator's on sale, like $14.99, regular $19.99. Planet Zoo's on sale. Let me think. It's on sale for like 13 something, and it's regular $44. But you might need to make sure your computer can do it and handle it, because I think it takes a little bit bit of space, but I'm not sure. I know some of them take a lot of space, so check that out. And then they got House Flipper on sale for like 12 something or 13, right close to 13, somewhere in there. And then they have several other ones. I'm not gonna go through them all, but that's the main ones that I can think of that's on sale. There are other ones, I'm sure, but I forgot. But check it out before the sale's over. I'm just trying to help you if you want to get some of these games. It's on Steam. It's for the PC, not for the other platforms. You'll have to check it out on your platform type stuff to see if there's any sales for it. But I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, and I'm trying to get this back on the road again, so to speak. And you need to make these angles correctly, so you don't want it too sharp or too much of a turn. As you can see, you want it to try not to be too extreme. And that's just my dog. She was eating her dog food and she choked a little bit, and she's probably eating too fast. And just move this over, and get this down and tip it and get it lined up pretty close to where we need it, and that's not bad. We're going to hit Control D and move it along. As you can see, it moves right along if you just get used to what you're doing. So it's not that hard. Don't be intimidated by all the different things on here. I have some tutorials out that teaches you some of the basic concepts, so check out those and get a good understanding of what these different things do. And obviously I still have a lot to learn, but I try to show what I learn as quick as I learn it, because as quick as I learn it, sometimes I might forget it. So I want to try to record it and show it, and not only for yourself, for myself as well, because it's easy to forget a lot of these things if you don't do it but once. You learn it and then you're like, oh, what did I do? When you look at it a year later and you're trying to do something else, you're like, I don't remember. So if you had to do it all in order over and over and over again, then you would remember. But if it's been a while, some of the steps you're not needing to do all the time, you're just gonna forget it. So sometimes. Alright, and then turn it a little bit, tip it a little bit. Not bad. Hit Control D and move right along, lift it up. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this Wi-Fi stuff under control. I'm doing the best I can. I think I'm going to get a higher quality box and see if it maybe just got messed up by the bad weather. Maybe because we had a power surge and it was lightning, and I turned off the computer, but I don't know. Maybe it hit the box, where the Wi-Fi connects, to the computer. So I'll have to see. I'm going to try to get another one. Then if that don't work, I'm going to consider trying to get some other sort of internet. If it's just that, I don't know. Really not sure what the problem is. It was working fine all winter. Seems like when summer came, it just acted up. But that's because we get a lot of rain and storms in the summertime. So I don't know. And then you got things that, everything blocks signals. Trees get their leaves and block signals, and I think it seems like that's what happens mostly, is the trees start blooming and it blocks all these airwaves or signals or what have you. I don't know. So I'm no expert when it comes to some of that, but trying to get all this situated so I can post properly. I've been trying to post and it just won't let me. I wait almost basically 24 hours and it just would never post my video. It would do some of it, like it would load some of it, but it would never fully finish it. So that's what I'm having problems with. Now see, I'm trying to get this situated here. You want to put these lines to where it's going to hit that road just right. And you can imagine how that road's going to look coming right across. You want to put this dot on it, on the end of it here. Now I am going to see about putting those pieces in that maybe you could angle it, have that funny Y piece. Excuse me, but that's going to have to be later on. And right now I don't feel like fooling with that. It's going to take some looking into. I'll have to get some off of another map or change the road color and texture and stuff and all that, and I don't want to do that right now. So that one should be good. We're done with that. We've got everything lined up. Have a look at it, see if it looks okay. If you see anything you need to adjust, just go ahead and kind of adjust it. And hopefully it's happy with the way we laid it out. And now what we're going to do, it's very critical that you had put that first plane inside this roadway 10 thing, because if you didn't, you'll have a problem when you go to do this next part, because when you click on the roadway 10, if they're all underneath it but not in the folder or in the transform group, then they won't highlight because they have to be in the group. And then if you try to put them in there later, they're going to move. So you just well delete all of the planes and start back over and import the plane again, and then cut it, edit it, put it in there, paste it, because then you'll be right after that. So highlight all of them by clicking on roadway 10. You're going to go up, excuse me, now I gotta think, export selection, and then you're going to open downloads, main Spline Street Constructor main 1, open it up. You're going to click on roadway, no wait, you're going to click on Spline 10 because this is the spline, and then you're going to make sure it pops up, then hit save. Do you want to replace it? Yes. So now we just put all those coordinates in that spline constructor. Now if we click on this one, you see these translate X, Y, and Z, rotate X, Y, and Z, and all these numbers. When I open this, each one of them has that, all different numbers. When you open this, which I just showed you how to do, you go under downloads, you find the folder you made, you open this, and you go open the application, double click on it. You're going to come up in here. First thing you're going to do is hit load parameter or parameter, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it. And then this is German, so I'm just going to show you what to click, so don't panic. You don't have to be able to read German. Click this. Click Strasse for street, hit open. It's going to open this. If you want the road to have a green curve of grass on each side of a flat road, then you leave this here. And you would click on this X, check it, and then hit copy, and it'll put the information over here. And the word verge, I'm assuming means grass, but I'm not sure. But either way, this is a grass DDS, which just means basically the image or whatever. I know I forgot the wording of it. But you can look at that in the drop down list when you open up the paint.net or something to find out what it means. Direct something, I can't remember. So then, but I don't usually want these green things. They were a pain to deal with. When it was on there, the ground, when you're trying to smooth it up next to the edge of the road, it just doesn't look right. It's like, it just don't smooth right. If you look at my first video, you'll see. So I don't want them. So I'm taking away the check mark to not have either one of them. Now, next we're going to come up here to the road size. And in my case, I believe I was putting a 9, but I might have to change that if that's not correct. It might have been a 10. But you can leave it at a 7 if you're satisfied with that width. What I would do is go in game, save it. After you make the road, go in game. Make sure your folder, let me open it just so you understand. When you go in game, your game is inside the documents, my games, FS19, mods folder, and here's my map. So when I fix my road into this map, at the end you have to do a finalization of the road. So you need to stay tuned if you really want to make this road. Sorry, it's a lot of steps, but it's not that hard if you pay attention. But anyway, you need to make sure your map is in the mods folder, then you can go test it in game. If it's not in the mods folder, you can't test it in the game. You need it in here. So I would put it in here. My personal preference is to put it on in here and work from in here in the editor. So now put it on 9, and in my case, and then you can change other things, but I have not been changing them. There's no real need to do it. You're going to open this, and I'm going to pick really there's no need to cross because the road's too short, so you're not going to be passing somebody. So I'm going to pick double yellow line, because that's the road I made with double yellow lines, meaning you can't pass. So I'm going to hit open. But the only road you're going to have is the road 51, so click it if you didn't make the paint.net ones. Then you're going to come down here to Spline. This is the Spline area. Click on this folder, pick the Spline 10, and then click open. It's going to put all those coordinates in here. There was 14 of those little markers. So if we look back, that's 14 of these. Okay, each one tells coordinates. This is the very 14th one, and this is the coordinate. So we're going to look 0.409 and then 144. So we're going to look. Click back on this. Open it up, and if you'll click on this arrow, you can go to 14. Okay, so it says 14.0. Why? So I guess they're saying there's only 13. I'd have to count it to see. It said it was 14. I hope not. Unless they're counting the main one. They might be counting that. But anyway, what does it say? So it don't say the same numbers. What's up with that? Let me see. Let me move it and see. Let's go back to the first one. Oh, now they're saying there's a problem. It's not registering the first one. Ooh, that ain't good. What's going on? Do we have an error? That one says the 4.4. Let's see if the 2 says that. Or maybe it's because I got 2 of them open. Let me see. That don't say 4.4. Wow, some of them say 0. That's a problem. What is going on? Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Put it on 10 and open it. Alright, now it's right. It didn't accept it, or I did something that must have backed out of it. Now that's correct. The first one is the 4.4. As you can see, it matches. See all the numbers? See all the numbers? They match. Now if we go over... Oops, I went too far. For whatever reason, oh, I know, I'm clicking the wrong thing. My bad. I'm glad I saw that. Now that I know I was clicking the wrong thing. So, you need to click this. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, so then you move to the second one and it tells them all. So don't click these. That was my fault. I was supposed to click these. My bad. But anyway, 14 is how many you got. You can go all the way. You can look at them. Whatever. So we don't need to do that. Alright, if you want to open this right here, it shows you it's a flat line, which is the road, which is flat. But if you have these open, one of them open, you see that it's showing you the grass and how it's going to look. Close it, you check this one, click it open, you'll see that's what it's going to look like. Grass over here, flat road, grass over here. And you just X out of that. You don't have to click on this at all. That's just to show you what it looks like. I don't want the grass, so I'm getting rid of it, and of course it's flat again. So that's what I want, a flat road. If you haven't used this Spline Street Constructor before, you need to click on this, and you can drag it where you can see it. And these all say like 5 or something. Change them to 1, in my opinion, and that's what I learned. And you can change them to other things. I've seen people put 2.5 or whatever, but I would put 1 because it seems to work okay for me. But you can put this into Google Translate and figure out what it says, and you can adjust it accordingly. But put it all 4 on 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Leave that one. Leave these. Hit OK. I'm going to click cancel because it's already there. But you would hit OK, and then you don't got to change it again because it's there. Now, I'm going to come up here, change this to roadway 10 because that's the one we're working on. Going to click on the i3D file, and you're going to find the roadway 10 right here. Click on it, hit save. Now we're all set. Everything's been done, and now we're going to hit go. It pops up this right here. If it don't pop this up, it'll say an error code. It'll say it might say 13 and 14 is a problem, or it might say 2 and 3 is a problem, or whatever it says. Then you're going to have to go figure out, count out down these splines, each little piece, till you get to those two that they're saying is wrong, and fix it. And you might just have to tilt it a little more or whatever, then you'll run it back through into here. When you finish and you hit go, and this pops up down here, looks like a good sign. It should be pretty close to right. You're going to minimize it. You're not going to X out. If you X out, that means you got to reload all these information that you just put in there. So minimize it, because we might need it again on this road. So what we're going to do is come in here, and now that we're in here, we're going to hit File, Import. You're going to pick Roadway 10, Open. It's going to open it down here. You're going to leave it highlighted at the bottom of the list. Hit Edit, Cut, click on Roadway 10, click Edit, Paste. It puts it in there. It puts your road here. You're going to click on Translate Y, and you're going to put point, which is a period, and then 47. It's going to pop your road up. You can put other little coordinates, like you could put 48, or you could do 49 or 50 or whatever. But just basically you're trying to get it exactly up with the road. Now, don't worry about those little pieces coming out, but as you can see, the road's there. And it's curving, it's doing all what we said we wanted it to do, and it looks nice. So now all we got to do is clean it up a little bit. So we're going to click on the sculpt mode right there, those little arrows. Make sure that's on subtract and smooth on the right mouse button, because I'm going to use smooth, and then if it won't work with smooth, I'll click the left mouse button over it for subtract. So we're going to right click to smooth this, and if it don't go away, we're going to gently tap it to click subtract. Now what you're going to want to do is make sure these settings here are lower, because you don't want it to take it away too fast. You want it to go slowly away so you can keep it at the level you want. So, and then when you have this, what the best thing to do is, if you want to move, turn it off, roll up, turn it back on. That's just, you can do it another way, but to me, when you're working on this close of an area, you don't really want to do that. And then we're going to bump that off of there, and anywhere we see there's a spot on the road, we'll fix it. And then we can turn it off, roll up to the next spot, turn it on, and then right click for smooth. If that don't work, then left tap, tap, tap. Basically click, 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 click till you get it off. If it's not going off quite fast enough, you can turn that up just slightly. But if you turn it up too much, you're going to have a deep hole. It's just going to take too much away. So now we got that. And if you have a low spot where the ground's lower than the road, just put it on add instead of subtract, and tap it till it gets up to it. So now we're going to roll forward, and you get this off. Try smooth first. If that don't work, then you hit subtract, and then you just move along till you get through, get it all off the roadway. And remember, the ground under it and the road gravel under it will be erased later. You can erase it right this second if you want, but I've shown that how to do that in other videos, how to use that, so just look back for that. But basically we'll just tap this all off anywhere we see anything on the road, and we're good. Now that we have that, we're happy. We're like, well, there's our road, it looks so good, it's going up and around and twisting and doing all our stuff. We didn't run into any errors. Wonderful, wonderful. But sometimes you're going to run into an error. So if you do, look at my other videos and it shows you what to do. But this was an easy one, and I just wanted to do a quick one so you can get a video up, and I can tell you about the sales that's on before they go off sale, and tell you about my Wi-Fi. I'm trying to get Gold Rush up, trying to get Ranch Simulator up. I might have to get something else done. I don't know. We'll have to see what I gotta do. I may have to skip some of those and post them later. I don't know. I'm trying. But I appreciate everybody. What you need to do now is, if you're finished and you're happy with your road and you're done and you're like, I am done, I've made the road and I'm not moving it and it's good and it's all set and I don't need to change anything in the future, I don't need to change the width, I don't need to do anything, then you're going to click on these planes. You're going to left click on the first one, then you're going to hit Control and Shift, and then you're going to left click on the last one. It's going to highlight all the ones in between that, and then you're going to click Delete. Okay, just that, not the roadway 10 at the bottom and not the roadway 10 at the top, just that, just these, and it'll delete these. But I'm not going to do that. The reason being, I'm waiting till the very end in case I got to adjust them at the ends and then run it back through the script again, because I got to meet them up to the other roads and I got all this other stuff to do. I might make the roads bigger in some cases, I don't know. So I'm leaving them. So I would encourage you to leave them unless that's the only road you're doing. Say you're just making an edit on a map and you wanted one road, then you're good. You can delete those and you're good. But we're not through. Once you delete them, then you're just going to have roadway 10 and this roadway 10 in the folder, which is the main folder. The parent, that's called the parent, and this one would be the child because it's in that group, in the parent folder. So now you would click on this if you've deleted those and you're ready to finalize it, and you're going to click File, Export Selection with Files. You're going to take it to Documents, My Games, the map. If it's 22, put it under 22. If it's 19, go under 19. Mods, the map you're working on, Maps, and in my case I would be putting it in the Objects folder. You can put it wherever you wanted. You can make a folder called Roads, whatever. I'm putting in Objects, and then I would don't highlight anything here yet. You would left click on the file name and title it Roadway 10 or whatever one you were doing, and then it needs to be an i3D, and then hit Save. That's going to put this in here. You're not through yet, but as you can see, I did one of them that way, and once it's in here, it'll look like that. It'll be whatever number you put in here. So I'm going to hit Cancel because I didn't put it in there, okay? But that's what I'm going to do when I finalize it. That's what you need to do if you're finalizing yours, if you deleted the markers and not the road, of course. I'm going to hit Cancel. Now, once you've done the export selection with files, notice I said with files. The other one was just export selection. The last one, the very last one, is export selection with files. Now, then you're going to hit File, Import. You're going to go to the Documents folder, to the My Games, to the Farming Simulator 19, or whichever one you're working on, Mods, Jules Peaceful Valley, Maps, Objects. You're going to find the road that you just put in there and finalize. You're going to click it, and you're going to click Open. It's going to put it in the map. It should put it right where your thing is, but I'm not going to click it. But you would click Open. I'm going to click Cancel. So that would import it into the map. When that happens, it should put it right where it needs to be. And in that case, then you would have one down here at the bottom, and you're going to want to keep the one at the bottom and delete this other one. So if you had one that you just imported, the one that you had exported to start with, you're going to leave the one at the bottom, the newest one that you just imported, and then you're going to click on this one, because obviously this will be closed like that, and you'll have one under it that says the same thing, and it'll be the one you imported, and you're going to delete the old one, the first one that you had made. So, and I would have a backup copy if I were you. Put a backup. If you wanted, you could make a copy of that one that you did, or export it again to somewhere else before you delete it, if you're worried about losing it. Once you delete this one here, and you leave the main one that you just imported that you had gotten from your map. That's the whole point. You're getting it from your map so that it can make the path information appear, so it'll know where to put that road and what all the texture needs to be, and it puts all the information. Alright, so then you're going to hit Save. So hit Save. I'm hitting Save because I'm not ready to do anything else, so I don't need to do the other part yet, but that's what you would do and you'd be finalized. Once you hit Save, go in the game and check it, and when you go in the game, always put your career start point, click on career start point, click Control B, and put it right where you're working. Left click right where you're working. It'll put the little gizmo, point your arrow in the direction you want to walk right when you get in the game, and you'll be right where you're working. Each time you go and hit save, you got to hit save again when you move your career start point. And that way, while you're working on the map, you don't got to run across a map. Say the career start point, it's over here. So I would have to go in game and run all the way over here to check this. So if I move that career start point over here where I'm working, I don't got to do that. And then if I go working over here, I need to move it over here, hit save, then go in game and check it. So always move the career start point with you as you go. And if you need to test something like with equipment, you also need to move your gameplay. So you're going to take that whole thing right there and you do the same thing. Control B, boom, put it over where, try to put it in somewhere flat because you're going to have cars and things, but you'll left click it, put it down, hit save, go in the game. You'll be able to access your equipment from there. That's where you're buying your equipment stuff from, and that will help you do that. But always hit save afterward or it won't count. But anyway, here's our roadway 10. I'm leaving the markers. I'm going to fix that one off screen. But I appreciate everybody. I'm sorry about the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry that the other videos haven't been posted like they normally were. I'm trying to get it. Appreciate everybody staying tuned. Please continue to watch. I'm going to get it straight as quickly as possible. Don't forget to check out that sale before it's over if you want those games. And I appreciate everybody. Please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. And goodbye, everybody. Catch you on the next one.